Today, I'm going to give you 5 quick tips you can do anywhere, including work or at home, the moment you start feeling anxious or stressed. These techniques are simple, powerful, and really gentle on the nervous system, helping you to return to calm without anyone even noticing what you're doing. I'm Gwen Allison, the founder of My Spiritual Butterfly, and I am a Reiki Master Teacher, transformational life coach, and a holistic business coach. So for over 15 years, I've been helping people feel grounded and centered and confident. And these are the techniques that I find most effective for instant anxiety relief. So we can all feel anxious or stressed. So for many, it's a fact of life that although it may feel like something you can't control or you can't reduce, there are some great tools I'll be sharing with you today that are easy to use and discreet, which means that you can use them anytime and no one needs to know what you're doing. These tips will help you calm your mind, soothe your nervous system, and gently bring yourself back to center. So let's dive in. The first thing we're going to do is the whole brain posture. This posture, you're putting yourself in this position. You're placing your wrists above each other, facing the palms together, clasping your fingers together, and you can rest your hands in your lap like that. At the same time, you can't see me doing this, but you're crossing your ankles. So your ankles are crossed, doesn't matter which way, and your wrists are crossed. And what this does, because the right side of the brain deals with what's going on with the left side of the body, and the left side of the brain deals with what's going on the right side of the body, when we do any kind of movement like this or position like this, or we're crossing over our body, the center of our body, we're engaging both parts of the brain, both halves of the brain are working together. And we are actually designed to be whole-brained, not just very left-brained or very right-brained, to be whole-brain. And so in that position, with our hands resting in our lap like that, our ankles crossed, scientifically it's said that we can't stay stressed for longer than 5-10 minutes. We start to calm down, the mind starts to work together, the brain starts to work together. And so gradually the thoughts become calmer and we slowly move ourselves out of that kind of anxious thinking. So it's a great thing to try. And what I like about it is you can do this anywhere. You can be at an interview, you can be on the train traveling somewhere. No matter where you are, you can put yourself in this position, hopefully. And as I said, it just needs a few minutes, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and you will start to relax. You'll start to calm down. So that's the whole brain posture. That's the first thing. The second thing you can do to move yourself out of fight or flight, anxiety, stress, is to activate a nerve in the body called the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve it has branches in the ears, runs down the side of the neck, both sides of the neck, then it runs into the spine. And that controls or turns on, you could say, the parasympathetic nervous system. So the parasympathetic nervous system is the opposite to the fight or flight system, the sympathetic nervous system. So the vagus nerve is a thing that when we can activate that, or it activates itself, it will calm us down. That's what that nerve is doing. So we can play with our ears. You could be at work and just kind of be doing this, tugging away at your ear, or both ears at the same time, whatever you want to do. And it's almost like you're giving yourself a vagus nerve massage, and you're starting to activate the vagus nerve. You're starting to relax yourself. So just kind of doing that a little bit. It doesn't take long, a few minutes, few seconds. You can even do that as someone's talking to you a little bit discreetly. You can just be tugging away at your ear. You could be maybe massaging the outer lobe of the ear, but the branches of the vagus nerve are kind of in beyond that kind of outer ridge. They're kind of in the middle of the ear. So you're just tugging away. The other way you can activate the vagus nerve, which also runs down the neck from the ears, is you can stroke down the side of the neck, or you can sit like this. So you could lean on the table, sit like this as you're listening to someone, whether you're at work or at home. If you know Reiki and you're attuned to Reiki, you can place your hands here. When we place our hands in this position, it's not just about speaking your truth at the throat chakra, you're also calming yourself down here. So this is really relaxing. It turns on the vagus nerve. And, we can do it fairly discreetly. You could probably even do it with one hand and then the other, with the intention of turning on this vagus nerve. You know, I do like sometimes just to stroke down the side of the neck. It feels really relaxing after I've done the ears. So this is a second thing we can do. Activate the vagus nerve. Oh, it feels lovely. I feel it already, guys. It's so, so nice. The third thing we can do to move us out of anxiety is to get really present. So when we're anxious, we're totally in our head. You know, our thought gets really narrow, our focus gets really narrow. And so we're just making things worse. We're going deeper and deeper into the anxious thinking. And so one of the things we can do when we notice we're feeling anxious is to take a moment and get really present. So we're taking a breath in maybe, but we're looking around the room. So we're starting to broaden our vision from being just this kind of narrow focus vision, which we have to have so we know where the enemy is or where the tiger is that's going to eat us. That's built in for us to do when we get stressed. We're in fight or flight. And so that's keeping us in that fight or flight. So when we widen our focus, we use our peripheral vision, that's sending a signal to the brain that we are safe, because now we're taking in the expanse of the room or the horizon. That's signaling to our body that we're safe, we're okay. So you can look around, you can just start looking around the room when you're feeling anxious, getting yourself out of your head and distracting yourself from those thoughts. And now what you're doing is you're looking at what you can see, taking in what you can see. You might move your head, or you might just take in the whole awareness of your peripheral vision, but just looking at what you can see without judgment, guides. You're not judging anything you see. You're looking at the color of things you can see around you, the shape of things you can see around you. So you're distracting yourself from the anxious thinking. You're also listening. What can you hear? What can you hear around you, in the room, outside the room? What can you feel? What can you feel in your body? So you're just also noticing any sensations that you can feel right now. You could also then move to taste. What can you taste in your mouth right now? Maybe nothing, might be the lunch you had earlier, might be a piece of gum that you're chewing. You're just noticing what you can taste. And then you're also noticing what you can smell. Is there a smell? It might be your perfume. It might be a smell of flowers in the air, or just air. But you're just taking all of these things, you're engaging your five senses. You're starting to kind of shut down and calm this fight or flight that you've gone into, the anxious thinking that you've gone into. And again, you can do that discreetly. No one needs to know what you're doing, but you're self-regulating yourself, getting yourself out of your head, into your body, into your environment, getting yourself present. You're not lost in the future. You're not lost in the past. You're getting yourself really, really present. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing you can do to calm your anxiety is to focus on your breathing. So you can breathe. A nice technique that I like and works really well for me and my clients is to breathe in and then have a longer breath out. So it's a light, deep breath into the lower belly, if you can, the lower body, or if not, the lower chest or the throat, if that's all you can do. And then it's a longer breath out. Yeah, a longer breath out. So breathing in and breathing out and taking longer. So you can count that as well. So you might do 3 breaths in and 5 breaths out, whatever works for you. But even the counting distracts you from the overthinking. And we can't really usually find anything adverse in counting, anything that's going to trigger us in counting. But it's all taking us away from the anxious thinking. But calming yourself down, the slower breath, again, is tricking your body, your brain into thinking you're safe, you're okay. Because when we're stressed, when we're anxious, the breath is really shallow, right? So when we're starting to breathe slowly and longer, deeper, that's signaling to your system that we're safe, we're okay now, you know, and the body turns on the parasympathetic nervous system and gets you out of fight or flight into rest and digest, into relaxation. So breathing helps. And with the things we've mentioned before, that I talked about before, you can couple that with breathing. So when we're doing the whole brain posture, we can also bring the breathing in. When we're activating the vagus nerve, we can bring the breathing in. When we're getting really present, we can also bring the breathing in to that as well. So starting to control your breathing, it can be difficult when you're feeling anxious, which is why isn't the first thing I've gone to. Those other things that we've talked about, getting present, the whole brain posture, these things can also help you to calm down and create space for you to now focus on your breathing. So it may not be the first thing you can go to when you're feeling anxious. And the fifth thing I have for you is to soothe your thoughts. So, you know, we can start to take control of this narrative. They're only thoughts and they're not true, they're not real. And we have the power to choose what we think. We don't believe we do, but we absolutely do. And in that calmer space that you've had for yourself, the breathing in and breathing out, you know, the looking around you, perhaps the whole brain posture, combination of all those things or just one of those things, then again, you can actually reach for a better feeling thought. And the first thought I would recommend if you're feeling anxious is, it's okay to feel this way. You're not making the anxiety wrong. You're not trying to fix yourself straight away or fix things straight away, which kind of makes things worse. You're just soothing it and allowing it to be there. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to feel anxious about this. Yeah. Then you can start to bring in other thoughts or questions like, is this thought true? Is it actually true that this might happen or that might happen or they're thinking this or they're doing this? Is it actually true? Am I catastrophizing? You know, am I going to the worst case scenario, the worst possibility out of a million different possibilities and just focusing on that? Am I catastrophizing here? Am I assuming? Am I thinking a thought based on pure assumption, no facts, nothing has happened yet, no one said anything? Am I just assuming this whole thing? So asking these questions, and you can even go to two more questions for you. Am I mind reading? And that's a good one because I have my clients who go for a whole conversation. You know, they did this, that means they're thinking this. We don't know what anyone else is thinking. We can't begin to know. We can only know what we're thinking. So a lot of the time we're mind reading. Am I mind reading? Yeah. Is this thing, this is a nice one to add as well. Is this thing, this situation that I'm really worried about, anxious about, is it within my control? Can I do anything about it? If yes, do that thing. If the answer is no, I can't do anything about it, it's completely out of my control, then we have to surrender it and we have to trust, you know, surrender it to a higher power. Okay, so you can try any one of these things, see how you get on with them. It's good, I feel, to have a mix of different things in our toolbox because you might find something works one day, you go to use that same thing and it doesn't quite work. So then you'll have 4 other things you can try. So having this mixture is really great for us to pick and choose because, as I said, sometimes something will work, another time that same thing won't work. So you have different ways of helping you move through that anxiety. And of course, I feel the best way to take care of anxiety is before it's even happened. I know you may not want to hear this, but if we're doing a daily practice of meditation, we're starting to befriend our thoughts, comfort our thoughts, soothe our thoughts, adopting a meditation practice or a breath practice or something we do regularly, including soothing our thoughts on a daily basis. This will reduce our anxiety over time and it allows you to begin to master your mind, master your thoughts. But if you feel you need more help with that, with befriending your thoughts, then you may want to have a look at my Mindset Mastery mini course. I'll put a link below so you can have a look at that. And I share some really wonderful techniques that you can go through, really quick and easy to digest. So do have a look at that. And if you have any questions about this video, let me know. If any of the techniques I've shared with you, let me know as well in the comments. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe and share it with someone who might also need to feel a little calm today. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.